Hey, happy Friday. Thanks for being patient. Welcome to the Local Marketing Institute Q&A Live, where we click the mouse.
Yeah, right. What is going on?
If you're ever looking to get in touch with your hosts, here we go. We have Greg Gifford. He's with Search Lab Digital, and you can reach him on Twitter at Greg Gifford, not X. And you can reach myself, Ben Fisher, at Steady Demand and at The Social Dude on Twitter, not X. All right. And we now join us on the Local Marketing Institute Connect on Facebook, where we definitely have north of 2,505 members. We will update that maybe soon ish. We'll see. And so, exactly, right, Craig? Come on. It's like, but yeah, so anyway, and if you would like Greg and I in your ear at any time, whether you're on the go, at home, just relaxing, whatever the case may be, keep yourself updated on the latest news in local as well as just things that are really cool to listen to. You can reach us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
Um,
And with that, how you doing, buddy? It's been a freaking little minute.
I know, right? It has been a bit. I was over in Brighton for the last one, so that's why I missed it. Was a nuts travel month. I think the entire month of April I slept in my bed 8 nights.
Just eight
So
nights.
yeah, it was a lot. I'm pretty burned out on the travel thing, but I'm home for a few weeks. I have the summit in Austin. I've got an overnight thing next week. That's all I have this entire month. And then next month, I think I have MozCon and that's it. So like for the
No,
next
right
three
on.
months, I think I only have three events to travel to, maybe four. So it's kind of nice.
So in other words, you're saying you're a slacker.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of slacking, but it's nice to be home
Okay.
though.
All right. I mean, I just need to make sure. Okay. Okay. Let's give some really quick shout outs to people in the audience. Hey, what's up there, Mr. James Kent? Glad you could make it. What's up, John? How you doing, Mr. Panino? And let's see, who else do we have here? Some good names that we see all the time. Mark Barris. What's up, Mark? How you doing, buddy? Mike Peterson, you've been showing up quite a lot. Thank you. And let's see, Sheila, how you doing, Sheila? Good to see you. Nice to see you, Mr. Asman. Thank you, Stephen. And we got two cut Tots, by the way. We got double the dose of Tots.
And we have a double dose of marketing manager today as well.
Marketing. I think I saw that was Paul, probably Mr.
Call
Lampland.
both of those.
He might be. You never know. Paul, you got some explaining to do, buddy.
So, yep, that one MM is Paul, but the other MM we don't know who it is.
And Paul, you're speaking only to me and Greg, by the way,
And
just so you know. You're
how do we have two Todds? I thought you meant we had two people named Todd, but there's literally two Todds signed.
Yeah, it's like Todd Kubicki, I think, something like that. I don't know. We got two Mr. Kabukis. That's what we got. So before we get started, everybody, as per usual, we want to answer your questions. So please go ahead and throw your questions into the Q&A and we will get to you because guess what? We're here, we're good, we're live. We do have some questions, but we need more. So, hey, what can you put in there? You can put in there anything. If you want to ask if it's the sky is blue, we will definitely answer your question. But, more importantly, if you have a local SEO question, we will be there for you. So, and if you want something audited, pop it in there. We will audit it. If you need some help with something, if you need troubleshooting, go ahead and put it in there. If you want your website audited, throw it in the Q&A. Greg and I will be happy to rip these things apart and have fun. With that, let's get started on the stuff. Greg. Oh, you got to hit the sound button, buddy.
Oh wait, what are we starting on? We
And
don't
we're,
have
we,
news, so I don't have
well,
to do sound.
we it's kind of news-ish
Is it kind of
stuff.
news? All right, here's the kind of news intro.
The kind of news intro. Not very loud. Got to work on that. Okay.
Really, it should be just as loud as normal.
No, it's not. It's not.
I
This is
wonder.
what happens when you
I
take
bet
6 weeks
you know what? I
off.
bet it's the settings in Zoom are wonky.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes, Steve,
Was
yes.
probably coming through my mic and not using the correct stuff.
That sounds like it. They could be it. Totally could be it.
100% was it. Let's try this instead.
Yay! Okay.
Yeah, so like, I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day. Uh, I've had a lot of work from home this week due to a tragedy that we had happen at the office last week. And you'd think that they would be able to make a Mac smart enough to understand that, hey, when I'm at the office and I've got my webcam and my podcast mic, which you can't see over to the side, plugged in, and they're plugged in, use those as the source. But when I'm at home, just on my laptop, hey, those things aren't plugged in anymore. So let's revert back to the default system settings and use the laptop
Yeah.
microphone and camera. But Zoom doesn't do that. Zoom, you have to literally tell it, I have changed my setup. So when I was at home, it was like, oh, I don't know how this works. Plus, I started working in VR again, which we've talked about in the past, and like I'm
Yeah.
back to it because it's really cool. But I'm not doing it today because we had this. Same thing. When I'm in VR, I can have the little VR avatar talk instead of me, so it's not me with the headset on. But you have to change that camera. So for whatever reason, it wasn't smart enough to realize that I'm back in my office, and it was still set to use my individual mic and not the system mic
Gotcha.
setup that lets me do the sound. That was a really long explanation as to why Zoom is stupid.
Yeah, I know, I know. Do you use Quest 3?
Now, I don't have the Quest 3. I got the Quest 2. I need to get a
Okay.
Quest 3. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've got the Quest 3, and I don't know about you, but it's like I've got a special headset where adapter, which allows me to put in like literally 10,000 milliamp hour batteries, so it extends life for like 8 hours.
Yeah, I got one. It's not one where you can switch out the battery pack. It's just a battery pack on the back of the headset. I
Yeah.
don't really need it for the power because I work with the cable connected to the computer. So there's no, but I have the battery pack headband because it lessens the weight on your face. It distributes the weight better.
Gotcha. So in other words, Greg is basically saying he's plugged into the matrix all day long.
I mean, it's pretty cool because like when you're manipulating things, you're actually using your hands. So it's kind of like Minority Report.
You'll totally love the MetaQuest 3. Then I'm telling you that right now. I've had it for a while, quite a while. So on that note, yeah, one of the bigger pieces of news, which is extremely sad, is that Mark from Search Lab did pass away recently. And he was, very nicely memorialized by Barry over at Search Engine Land. And, I think Nava probably took the largest hit here, and Mark was a wonderful guy. I only got to meet him one time, got to speak with him when we were at PubCon. And I thought he was really just one of the best. He was the kind of guy who wears his soul on his sleeve,
Yep.
I think. And he's going to be missed. And I think that the industry itself has taken a huge, we've had a huge loss.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, of course, you and the team were there over at Search Lab Digital have taken one of the larger losses in the industry here. Because I know he was an asset to you. I'm sure he was. But anything you want to say, man?
Yeah, no, I probably won't be able to keep my composure, so we can.
Understood. So with that, cool. All right, let's talk about news. Fun stuff. So let's see. Okay, so the first thing is that Google's been paying a lot more attention to restaurants. It's kind of interesting.
Well, I mean, it's kind of good because it's been a bit of a train wreck with the whole menu system and links to food ordering services and all of the kind of shenanigans that we're doing without any. It's the thing that Google always does. They're like, oh, here's a feature, let's add it, but they don't really think about how it works in the entire ecosystem, and they don't really have a way to manage the feature. They're just like, this is cool, let's add it, and some team just throws it in. So it's like a bunch of different band-aids getting slapped onto the Google Plus Places for Business situation.
Exactly. I can have said better. But you're right. I mean, the last update, I think, was, like you said, it was the ability to choose your third party places, basically, right? And order them and choose your default one, which has been sorely needed for such a long time. Well, along with that is now You have the ability to choose your preferred menu source. Again, it's just like one of those things. It's like you give the merchant the option, right? And Google is slowly coming around to this methodology or mentality, I should say. I remember this was like, gosh, I want to say 6 months ago. But you remember, Greg, when they rolled out the ability to do granular notifications based on user, based on listings?
Yeah.
We, as product experts, have been fighting for this feature for years, years. It's like, give us a choice, give us a choice. We don't want you to make the choice, give us the choice of notifications. And they finally did it. So, and this preferred menu source is another one, right?
Maybe someday they'll finally let us choose the cover photo.
Greg, you really have to stop smoking funny stuff, man.
I know, right? Like, what is that guy talking about? Is he insane?
I mean, that would be as much as them putting a really good verificate review system in place, right?
Right.
To stop negative reviews or fake reviews. Oh man. So, marketing manager, you're still only talking to me and Greg. You got to change your settings to everyone, unless you just want to talk to me and Greg. That's fine too.
I mean,
All
how
right.
are they supposed to stay anonymous if they don't keep it anonymous from the rest of the room?
Well, we know that marketing manager is actually the anonymous attendee. I think we've pretty much settled on this, by the way. All right. Okay. Next bit of news. I'm putting this under news because I think it deserves to be. We've talked about AI a lot over the last year, right? We've talked about it a little bit less recently. However, OpenAI is announcing the fact that they are launching a new search engine on Monday. Monday, they're launching a new search engine. You should probably have quite a few different mixed emotions going on right now. One is excitement, because this is something new, right? One should be fear. Because if they do take a lot of market share away from Google, and well, let's just say this: if they take a lot of market share away from Google, that could be a problem for our industry. Our industry is kind of known for being able to adapt okay pretty quickly, kind of, sort of, maybe. But if you've only been in SEO for maybe, let's say, sub 5 years, adapting is going to be extremely difficult. If you've been around since the 90s, you've adapted to Google changes all the time. So it's going to be kind of difficult. If you haven't been stepping up your AI game for the past year, you're going to have to go through a big learning curve.
Yep.
And people still don't know how to manipulate the results, basically, when it comes to AI.
But I also think I might be biased because we were actually talking about this at Brighton SEO 2 weeks ago that I feel like those of us in local are a little bit separated from the traditional SEO people that are freaking out about SGE. Because if you're a traditional SEO guy and you rank number one, but you rank number one everywhere, it's a big deal if you get bumped down a few spots. Well, in local, we know proximity changes what your ranking's going to be within the same town, and you don't care about ranking outside of the town. And local has always been, I need a list of choices of local businesses to choose from, not I need a single answer. So I think there's potential for less disruption in local than there is in traditional. I don't feel like if there for this to be a massive disruptor, there has to be a lot of people that use it. And there was a few different talks at Brighton talking about AI fatigue and a lot of research that's been done. And this was UK research, but I still think it was a big enough audience size to matter, that people are starting to realize we all understand ChatGPT is just word prediction. It's not actually thinking and giving you the right answers. The rest
Correct.
of the world's starting to figure that out as well, and people are not trusting those AI generated answers. So I'm curious how well this new search engine gets adopted.
So let me put on my monkey donkey hat, and pull out my crystal ball. Okay. Just to make a couple little predictions. Number one, ChatGPT has an amazing amount of investment from Bing and Microsoft, right? Where do you think they're going to source local results from?
Well,
You think they're going to result from Google,
no, they'll come from Bing.
Apple? They're going to
No,
come from Bing, right?
yeah,
Bing search sucks. Period. Bing local blows
real bad.
big chunks. So, does that mean that we are going to have to learn how to optimize for the POS? Basically, you know,
Only if this search engine takes off.
I'm going to say that they would have to do something serious to fuck it up, Greg.
You really think that many people are going to bail on Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever they're using and switch to ChatGPT's search?
I think they're going to have to do something really seriously horrible to screw up. I think Google's market share is going to go down, especially within the first couple months. I think marketers are going to be probably singing its praise. Marketers are going to be like, oh my God, it's something new. And it's going to be something that everybody's going to want to play with. And then once the marketers decide that it's something cool and useful, that's when it reaches out to consumers, right? That's when merchants start paying attention. That's when consumers start paying attention because marketers keep on talking about it. But the thing is that with AI, okay, let's just put it this way. Altman announced that ChatGPT 5 is coming soon, and that generative AI should actually be attainable by 2025. Generative AI is when AI starts thinking, quote unquote, more for itself, right?
General AI, not generative.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you take a look at those just from a long view, right, and put them all together, that's where you need to start thinking. Now you really need to start thinking about what's going on. Because with generative AI, or general AI, if you want to call it, basically, that's when it can start learning basically off of you, your personalization, and start thinking about things before you maybe even you even think about them. It could come to a situation where, hey, it's Friday night. You usually get a pizza on Friday night. What do you think, Greg? Should I go ahead and buy that for you? You never know if that's where it's going to go, right? And I'm not saying we're going to have that in 2025. I definitely don't think so. But the thing is we need to start thinking down those vectors. We need to start thinking from a local search perspective. Well, okay, if something is powered by, OpenAI, how could these results look?
Yeah.
How could what we do as marketers influence these results for our clients? And that's the point that I want to make. And if you don't understand LLMs now, well, you've got a week.
Yeah. Get to researching.
Good luck. um, so anyway, that's my call to the industry, or the people that are on this webinar, is if you haven't delved into AI, take a weekend. Go read through the history. Go read through the notes. Go explore. Go sign up for ChatGPT or something, or use Anthropic, whatever. It doesn't matter. And just try it out. Get used to it. Learn it, just in case. You don't want to be left behind. All right, enough of that. What resources do I suggest? I suggest just going out and looking at it. There's a AI Uncanny Valley, which is a great news source. Number one, if you want to go back historically and read some up on news. But really, I would just go to chat.openai.com and go sign up. Just go sign up for ChatGPT. It's $20. Think how much money you make in your business. Okay. What would happen if you lost all that? Go spend $20. and start playing around with it. And also, what I would do is just do a search and look for prompt libraries. There's a ton of prompt libraries out there, and go experiment with it basically, and just start doing local searches and things like that. And you'll come up with data, and when it launches on Monday, have fun with it. That's all. All right. Last little news-ish item is there has been a test. We don't talk about tests a lot because most of them don't come to fruition. This one, though, tends to be this sounds a little bit more interesting and possibility that it'll stick around. Um, on mobile, no blue links, no organic results for a near me search, Greg. What do you think about that, dude?
I mean, I'm kind of I see both sides. I understand that if someone is explicitly saying, I want results that are near my current location, the best way to do that is to show them the map pack with the results that show that those places are right near their location. And you could click the website link off of that. But I think that that is also potentially flawed because if you have like one of the examples that I use in my training class when I do Brighton SEO and I do an all-day training for local SEO is that the map pack isn't just proximity. It's still content and link signals and other things as well as your business profile. And if you are an organization like I use the example Starbucks, there's a search in maps for just the word coffee, and there's a Starbucks half a block away that doesn't show in the local finder because Starbucks doesn't do SEO because they're not worried about SEO because if you drink Starbucks, you're going to drink Starbucks. All the little guys are worried about SEO, so they rank in those searches even though Starbucks wasn't near me. If I'm looking for coffee near me, Starbucks wouldn't show in that list because they don't do good SEO. But I also see the other side. If I really wanted Starbucks, I would look for Starbucks near me, so it wouldn't be a problem anyway. Is it really bad that we don't see the 10 blue links? Maybe, but maybe they should at least give you the option of, hey, if you don't like these results, here's the web results. I don't know. What do you think?
That last point, I think, is inevitable if this occurs, right? Google has to
Have a link
give
to
that.
see web results too?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because we see that actually in maps already. You can see web results, right? You can click a button for it. But what I think is that it's interesting. It's like we're talking, I think it was almost a near infinite scroll, basically, of local results, right? To me, it makes a lot of sense. And I'll say this, it matches my user behavior. If I'm looking for coffee near me, I don't care about Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks, unless I really, really, really have to. And, I would just keep on scrolling until I found something that I liked or maybe clicked on some reviews or something like that. I actually like that. I like that I wouldn't have to click on more places.
Yep.
So I don't know. It could be interesting. I think it could be a nice opportunity. If I had to give a percentage on like what I think, again with the crystal ball, as if it's going to come to reality or not, 20%. you
Yeah.
know. Now, if more people start seeing it over the next 2 weeks, okay, now we have a possibility of a feature. So, all right, buddy. Well, let's see. We have a decision to make. It is 10:24. All right. Actually, do you want to do the audience? Let the audience choose.
Let's let the audience choose.
All right. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 questions that were asked of us 6 weeks ago. Greg and I have already read through them. They are valid. They're good questions to actually ask. A couple people are here actually that asked those questions. However, we have 10 questions that are live from the Q&A. So we give it to you, audience. Since these are a little bit old, as far as the ones we have vetted, the Q&A is new. Please sound off in the chat. Would you like us to go ahead and do the Q&A? Or would you like us to do the old? So new or old, please vote.
Oh, that's three for new.
It's 10%, man. Got to keep going. Keep going.
New, either.
Either. Come on, really. Both. Come on.
Oh, looks like
I
new
think
winning it.
I think the new has it.
All right.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
it's still pretty
Speaking
far
too
in the new
soon. Speaking
direction,
too.
though.
Wait. Well, no. I actually have to add this one up there now. Oh wait, John, you already voted.
I feel like everybody's just messing with us.
Yeah, I think everybody's messing with us. All right, we're gonna go new. Nice try, people. All right, so let's see. Okay. All right, buddy. So this one is going. Let's see. We're gonna go to you first. How's that?
Yeah, except I don't know the answer to this one because I haven't done this in.
Oh, let me see. What is this?
Do you know the answer to this one? Maybe I ask you. Let me ask you because
Uh,
I want the second one.
ooh.
I'm gonna ask you the
Hey,
first one because I want the second one.
go ahead. Go ahead.
All
All
right,
right.
so first one comes from our old buddy anonymous attendee. How do you update the order link on a car dealership Google Business profile? It down below products and services link. There doesn't appear to be a way to update the link in the GBP management interface. The order link goes to an inventory landing page in the dealer's website, not a third-party platform. So it's
And you
that.
thought
I
this
think that
question was good for
clarification
me.
is.
Why? You thought this question was good for me. Why?
I don't know. Like I don't. Whoever anonymous is, I can find this out because I gotta. I don't, guys. I don't actually do the nitty gritty like down in the trenches work on Google Business profiles because my team does. I don't remember exactly where to go, but I've slacked, and as soon as I hear an answer, I will pop back in and share it here. I know that the problem here, because I answered, gosh, I wish I remembered what button you clicked to do it. I literally answered something like a year ago on the forum about this because if you contact support and ask them, they send you stuff about how you can set food ordering links if you're a restaurant, but this is a car dealership and it's not there. So,
Yeah, I don't know this one because I don't work with a ton of auto dealers. So
oh, there's definitely a place to do it. I know the appointments link is under booking. I don't remember where the order link is.
wouldn't it be
I
under
will,
contact
maybe.
or maybe under booking button? No, you know what? I'll bet you it's under the booking button. It's got to be, dude, because that's where it is for restaurants. Well, anonymous attendee, go take a look at the booking button. Let's see if it's there. All right, you ready?
All right. Yep, I'm ready. Okay,
Okay.
cool. I was just slacking a couple people, so hopefully someone can come back and tell me.
All
All right.
right. Stephen has a question for you. And that is any suggestions and tips to acquire worthwhile backlinks? Keyword worthwhile.
I wish Guy was here and we could go meh
Meh.
links. Um,
You need to get that recorded though.
I know, I do. We could do it in Detroit.
There, will G be there? No, G's not gonna be there.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, that's right.
Yeah, Steven, I actually have an entire training class on the Bright Local Academy that is free to take on how to do local links. But to summarize that course, the easiest way to get worthwhile links is to just get involved in the local community and do the old school marketing stuff that businesses used to do before we started just only doing SEO, and you will earn awesome, powerful local links. There's a lot of other stuff. I mean, you've got sponsorships. The main problem, though, everybody always gravitates towards sponsorships because it's easy. You can spend a little bit of money to sponsor something and get a link out of it. But you've got to remember your link profile needs to look natural. And if all your links are sponsorship links, that looks like you're trying to manipulate and you can get in trouble for that. But sponsorships, 5Ks, little leagues, golf tournaments, things like that. Charity work, volunteer stuff is great. I like doing the approach with meetup.com or Facebook groups where you look for people in the area that have regular monthly meetings. And if you've got some sort of a conference room, or we do it with our car dealerships for the like service lounge that's not being used at all times while the business is open. Like, let's say, like we do it with car dealerships. The service department closes at 6, but the dealership's open till 9. So if there's a group that meets on the third Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock, you can offer that lounge to them if it's not too big of a group, and they get free Wi-Fi and comfy couches and blah, 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 blah for their meeting. And they can use that space for free as long as they give you a link from their website. That's killer. Or just look for groups that are looking for meeting sponsors. You throw in 50, $60 a month to buy their snacks and soft drinks if they give you a link. There's a ton of other things that I walk through in that course, and I see that you said in the chat that you'll check it out. So yeah, check that course out. Everybody else, if you want to know how to do legitimate local link building, I think that's a really excellent source. It's about an hour class where I walk through a lot of different tactics for building links, and also the process of what to do when you're doing link building. Do not buy into the hype. Gary Ish from Google at a conference in like Bulgaria 3 weeks ago was like, "Oh, you don't need links." Oh, thanks for sharing that, Juan. Juan just shared the link in chat, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, Gary said at this conference in like Poland or Bulgaria or somewhere in Eastern Europe that links don't matter anymore. Well, he didn't really say that. He said links are no longer the powerful signal they used to be, and Google updated their documentation from saying that links are an important source to just links are a source of.
I talked to Gary about this 2 PubCons ago. Okay. And because he said this on stage, and and I was like, you say that kind of in passing too. He's like, yeah, we don't care about links anymore, really. He's like, look, it's really simple. Google has gotten to the point where they do not need links for discovery.
Yes.
And they've got more than enough data. They've got Google Search Console. They've got Google Analytics, blah, 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 blah. They also don't need them as a signal anymore, because Signal has grown to a point where it's more semantic in nature. They can understand that if you have Greg Gifford on a blog, they know that that's Greg Gifford of Search Lab, at Greg Gifford on Twitter. Google already knows this about you, right? From all these different sources. So that's the point that he was trying to make. He's like, look, if you're getting links because you think it's going to help you rank better or get more discoverability, you're looking in the wrong place. That's basically what he's trying to say.
But everyone in SEO is taking it to mean, oh, we don't have to do link building anymore because links don't matter. And that's absolutely not the right conclusion to make.
That is
links
correct.
Are still influential. And realistically, you should be getting links from the right kinds of sites anyway, where those links result in traffic to your website. You're not doing links. If you're doing link building because you heard links were important for SEO, and the only reason I'm doing links is because it helps my SEO, you're doing it for the wrong reason anyway.
Yeah, but let's be real, dude. You think anybody that's been doing SEO, again, here we're going to say it again, man. Anybody who's been doing SEO for less than 5 years is going to actually think that way?
No.
Yeah. Now, maybe the old boys, they've been doing this 10, 20, 30 years. Yeah, we're all like sitting back going, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. Let's go back to the way we did it in the 90s, right? Because in the 90s, you didn't think about ranking. Hell, Google wasn't even there in 1996 when I started. You got links because the links were going to deliver traffic to your business, So, we could talk about links forever. Let's not do that, though.
So let's move on to the next question from our buddy Mark Barris. Mark has a real estate client in Hawaii. Oh, this is great. I'm really curious to hear your answer on this. Mark, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because I want to see what Ben says. So he has a client in Hawaii that would like Mark to create some AI-generated photorealistic images of local scenery and architecture for her GBP. I've been dabbling with Leonardo. Mark's been dabbling with Leonardo, but has been struggling coming up with negative prompts to help get the best quality output. Any tips?
So number one, Mark, stop using Leonardo. Just stop. Leonardo is not great. Out of all of the ones that are out there, Leonardo is probably the weakest, next to SDXL, which is the weakest. I would rather you try DALL-E 3. You can use DALL-E 3 free, inside of Bing. You can use it even more free. I think they give you up to like 20 or 30 or something like that now, image generations. And if you have a paid subscription to ChatGPT, then you can use it for free inside of ChatGPT. If you used the tool that I use, which is Magai, Magai.co, for $20 a month, you can pretty much get near unlimited DALL-E 3, as well as Leonardo, SDXL, and another one. I forget what it's called because it doesn't matter. Anyway, so the easiest way for me to put this is that negative prompting is not as in image creation only, by the way, is not as powerful as it is coming up with a proper prompt describing what you want. When you're using specifically DALL-E 3. DALL-E 3 is more of an emotional type of image generation versus when you're describing and you're prompting versus something like Midjourney or even Leonardo, which is very concise and direct, right? It's like saying, I want a Mickey Mouse cap that has green horns on it with gray highlights on those horns stretching from the tip of one to the base. On that, I want Greg Giffords' face, or whatever. Actually, that wouldn't work. But that's a very direct prompt, right? And then you can add pluses and minuses and things like that. With something like DALL-E 3, you're going to say, I want to use this source picture. So you don't even have to say this. You just upload a source picture. So we would upload Greg's face, right? And then we would say, basically, go ahead and add a Mickey Mouse hat with evil horns that are red in color and have gray highlights. These highlights are arching out from the top of the hat and stretching down to Greg's legs or something like that. But it's more of like almost an emotional thing. I'm curious about the negative prompts though that you would want to use, Mark, because that's actually what I'd like to ask is why do you want a negative prompt? Like, what are you going to use? What are you going to use for a negative prompt? Like, give me an example.
I think that was more just he's trying to figure out how to get the best output.
Well, the best output is always going to be
a question that I want to ask him, but I'll let you finish.
Okay. So okay, you're just trying to get the best output. Okay, got it. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about negative prompts because you've got to really, really think about what you want for those negative prompts. Unless you go ahead, you do write your prompt out and you write it out very detailed, right? You go ahead and you throw it in, you do a roll, and bam. Okay, great. There's an image I like. However, it's got a red sky. Okay, maybe if I do the same thing and add a negative prompt of no red sky, you could always try that. That's a possibility. I don't know. What's your question, Greg?
My question to Mark is, this is a real estate client, and we're talking about that real estate client's own GBP. So it's a GBP for a real estate person who should have photos of all of their properties anyway. Why are they wanting you to AI generate fake photos when they have real photos they should be using? That's the big question.
That's a great question.
It's not like we're talking about its product. Okay, here's the thing. She's worried about privacy. Okay, think about customer intent. If she wants to attract clients are going to know those are AI generated photos. It's going to make her look like she's fake lead gen or not a legitimate.
It's not necessarily true.
If they're really badass images, maybe people won't know. But if
the way I would do it, I'll tell you how I do it really quickly. I'm sorry, Greg.
Why couldn't you just take pictures of other buildings? Like, why not use, like, you're in Hawaii. There's gorgeous scenery everywhere. Why do you need to do AI generated photos for the business profile at all?
I agree, but what would be kind of fun is to say, take a picture of a home, which is on the beach, right? And there's tourists all over the place or whatever the case may be, right? Because he's worried about privacy or she's worried about privacy. You upload that as your base image. And then you basically tell DALL-E, to use this image for inspiration. I would like the architecture and the beach to stay the same, the setting to stay the same. Include people walking around as if they're in a natural environment within their home, blah, 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 basically, right? And then see what it comes up with, basically. The thing is when you're using it now that you're using an image source, you can go ahead and you can create all sorts of different variations of this now too, right? So you can, with one picture, describe scenes and elements and things that are going on. I get it. I understand it because in real estate, it's all about the imagery. It really is.
That's why I don't get why you'd want to use AI. Like, if she's worried about privacy, it's like I was a client, and oh well, is it commercial real estate or like homeowner real estate? Okay,
Homeowner.
so
Yeah, who cares about
if
AI?
if she sold my house, she already has pictures of my house. Why not put that on the business profile? How is that a privacy violation? I don't see how that's a privacy violation. It's not me. It's not a picture of me. It's a picture of my house that she sold. The new homeowners, what do they
Yeah.
care? That listing is still out there for anybody to see. Like,
Yeah.
exactly. You want to get new clients, you need to show the types of homes that you've actually sold. There's not a privacy concern there at all. You're going to have those homes listed on the website and on the MLS anyway. Why are you not putting them on your business profile?
Right,
Seems like a lot of
exactly.
extra work on your end for something that's an easy solution.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking about like doing a picture of like the beach, in Oahu, okay, fine. Use AI for that because you don't want to show tourists. Okay, no problem. But I'm with Greg on this one. You should be using the home images that you have. Um, yeah, period. Okay, good enough.
Oh
Good
my
enough.
gosh, Claire's here. I didn't even see that.
Claire's here? No.
Claire?
Is she? Yes, she is. What's up there? All
So wait, is
right.
it my turn or your turn? I got lost.
It's
It's your
my
turn.
turn. Yeah, I think so.
So Claire's question is, well, first she says, "Hello, friends. Hello, friend. GBP guidelines state that apartment buildings are ineligible, but she sees a load on Google Maps. If an
Yeah.
apartment building has a full-time staffed concierge desk where in-person contact can be made, are they then eligible?"
Number one, apartment buildings are allowed on Google Maps. That's just period the way it is. I work with a lot of property management companies that have apartment buildings that have Google business profiles. They are totally 100% allowed. That's number one. Um, an apartment building will almost always have an office associated with it, even if it's run by a property management company. Sometimes that office is not off site, but off parcel to the actual apartment building itself. Sometimes it's in, they basically have an area where people get together, to look at the apartments and things like that. Either way, as long as it follows the general guidelines of a storefront, it's acceptable to Google.
Boom, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alrighty then.
I'm going to ask you the next one.
Oh, okay.
It is
Go for it.
a suspension question. Oh, we got a couple of. Maybe it's the Ben Fisher show today. You're much
This,
better with the suspension stuff than me, so I'm going to
yes.
ask you the next
All
one.
right.
Uh, Marketing manager, one of the two, is getting ready to submit a suspension appeal for a gas station brand that is changing from Speedway to BP. BP Marketing had to update the location finder with the accurate NAP information and led the owner to believe that it would update the GBP, which I would suspect it would help our case. The process is almost done, so just a bit anxious about submitting an appeal. I had changed to BP, and that gave us the suspension. I don't believe there is a duplicate, but I did find two CID numbers, one for Speedway and one for BP. Any suggestions?
Huh. Bend over and kiss your ass goodbye. No,
Hold on, hold on.
So you're right. The name change is probably what did it. um, and I say that only, by the way, I only say the bend over thing because the last line saying that there's duplicates. Well, it sounds like there might be duplicates. One for Speedway, one for BB. That's a problem. You need to nail that one down first. Need to make sure they don't have the same phone numbers, actually, is what the bigger deal is there. Um, so yeah, I mean, so if you're rebranding from Speedway to BP, then really you need to basically amass your documentation around BP. In this case, I would go ahead and stick with just signage, number one, but be really diligent with your signage, showing street signs, showing nearby businesses, showing the actual, signage on the building itself. You might want to even go as far as to show some interior signage as well. Take a picture of some of the gas pumps because I'm sure they're going to be branded as BP too. You said you've already updated your, it sounds like you've updated your NAP already. Listing went back to Speedway and then G marked it permanently closed.
Could you not just set up a new one then?
No. Well,
Speedway got closed and now it's BP. Just set up a new one for BP. Maybe.
maybe. I don't understand why you're saying that it's getting renamed. Because if it's suspended, they can't get renamed. There's a lot more to this one, unfortunately. This one's a little bit more complex. It's something where actually you need to look at it. Yeah. The duplicate's the issue, basically. And what you're saying, which is like Google's changing the name back, that's not really possible unless it's only a soft suspension versus a hard suspension. If it's a hard suspension, then it's definitely not going to be changing stuff back. Well, it is a soft suspension if you can see it in incognito mode. However, in your dashboard, it is suspended. And okay, so yeah, if you're seeing it well in incognito mode, that actually doesn't matter. When it's soft suspended, it's always going to have the old data. What matters is the data that's in your dashboard. When you click on edit info, I'll bet you it says BP. Almost guaranteed it says BP. Matter of fact, I will bet you a beer it says BP when you click on edit info in your dashboard. So,
Ooh,
yeah, I would.
I'd like to see if Ben's gonna get his beer or not.
I mean, I'm thinking Blue Moon. Just saying.
Strong choice.
Come on, marketing manager, I want my beer.
Wrong. Ben
Prove it.
lost a
Prove
beer.
it. Prove it. So I think when you click on when you click on it, it's probably going to say BP. And click it and it comes up Speedway. Well, then change it to BP. It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, actually. That sounds like it's actually not functioning properly then. If you made the change and you have a manager, you can manage it. All right. You can't change it now. That's not a properly functioning listing then. Or you're just not logged in. One of the two. Yeah, you're probably just not logged in. Because if you were logged in, you can absolutely change it. It doesn't matter what state it's in, actually. So there's never a state where it can't be edited. Okay. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to continue down this line of thought at the moment. We are going to have to move on. So, but yeah, I'd love to see a screenshot of that.
Give you the next one too, because the next one's also a suspended question, and this was
Oh, he said I'm right. Okay.
our old pal Anonymous. Hi there, guys. We just got a suspended GBP.
Well, hold on. Let's back up. Marketing manager said I was right. In that case, what happens is you just need to make sure it says BP, and then go ahead and you can submit an appeal. and basically explain what you're doing, explain that you changed the name because the branding has changed. You're attaching all this the proper signage. And if you have a business license and or utility bill, which I'm sure you probably do, then submit that at the same time. Basically, it's a real world place. You made a very small change, so it should actually get reinstated pretty quickly.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now we can move on.
Okay, so anonymous attendee has a suspended GBP, and after reviewing, okay, real quick, whoever submitted this question, we're talking about the office pictures, blah 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 blah. You'll know what I mean. You're gonna hear me read it. If you want to change the chat to just me and Ben, I think it would be really helpful by the time I finish reading this question. If you can chat just to us, if you want to stay anonymous, and let us know what type of business this is. That would be helpful. But the question, we just got a suspended GBP, and after reviewing the prohibited and restricted content, I think, and wanted to make sure, the suspension was triggered because some office pictures, in quotes, that we think were AI generated. Are we right? Other finding was that, I don't know why, the linked page to the GBP had a no index tag. This could help the suspension too. Any advice before applying for an appeal? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So number one, having office pictures that were AI generated is not going to cause a suspension unless those office pictures tend to happen naked, have naked people in them. So if you want to run them through Vision AI, their Google Cloud, and make sure that those AI pictures are not racy or otherwise prohibited, do that. But no, it's not just because they're AI doesn't matter. The other thing is having a no index tag on a Google page, or I'm sorry, on a web page. GPP doesn't care about that. What they care about is that the destination URL is not fraudulent and or misleading. On that note, if it is no index, you could be blocking them from seeing if it is basically indeed not fraudulent.
Also, it's a law firm that opened a new office in a new city. From the information we just got privately.
It was, it's suspended because it's a new law firm.
Yeah,
It's pretty much going to be
probably
it.
what it is. It's a new law firm location. I would make sure it's a legitimate office and not like a Regis office that they tried to set up, because that could be it too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't be too concerned with it. It's a new location, number one. It's and since it's a new city, get a business license. Yeah, the law firm's going to be like, why do I need a business license? Well, just because. Okay, just have them get a business license, and absolutely take your pictures of your signage. And you should be just fine and dandy. I'll bet you get reinstated with no problem, unless there's some other stuff going on, which is possible. Sometimes I've got to get this article done for Search Engine Land, man. I'm going to be writing about all the different reasons for suspension,
Right.
and how they're described on the Google's page. Prohibited and restricted content is a really broad category, and I see it, unfortunately, on new profiles. Heck, I've even seen host content violates Google guidelines on new profiles that have never made a post ever. So what I would think about too is the phone number that you have associated with the profile. If it is a brand new phone number, you've gotten it through CallRail or Service Titan or something like that. Well, not Service Titan, but CallRail. It's a virtual phone number that can be an issue. Virtual phone numbers are reused. And since virtual phone numbers are being reused, that means you could be picking up a phone number that somebody used to spam the hell out of Google, basically, or spam people. So you might want to run that number through a couple spam tools just to see if the number is okay. Yeah, I would start there.
Lightning round.
Oh yeah, sure. We're at 6 minutes.
I really want to get to Al's question at the end because that's great. So let's do. Ask me Alana's question and Ria's question, and because those are both quick answers.
All
So do
right.
those real quick so we can get to Al's question.
Elena is asking, a client of mine asked me if I could rearrange their GBP product section. I think this used to be possible, but I don't see the feature now. Is there any way to control the order of products? Greg.
No,
Boom, done. Okay. What's the order that they're in?
not the order they want them in. I mean, it used to.
Isn't
At
it
one point, it was most
first in
recently
shows
edited
or
was first,
yeah.
but that's not always the case anymore.
So you're saying it shuffles?
Have you not seen that? Like the most recently edited doesn't necessarily jump to the first of the list anymore.
Hmm. I thought it was first in shows.
Yeah, it's not because it used to be if you wanted something to jump to the first, you just went in and edited that product and it would jump to first in the list,
Oh, okay.
and it doesn't do that anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All
So
right. Next question from Ray. Is there a way to edit located in section of GBP that you don't have access to? I'm just going to stop right there. Don't need to answer the whole question. Ask the whole question.
But the client is
All right. Fine. I'll ask the whole
no, no, no,
question.
no, no, no. This is a legitimate question.
Okay.
It's not a bad question. Keep reading.
All right. Okay. Fine. I've suggested edit, but it hasn't gone through. Basically, our client is showing up in the profiles located in section. Oh, our client is showing up. Okay. Our client is not a shopping mall or a business center. It looks like Google made a mistake.
So another profile shows her client as
The
other
shopping
profile
mall
is
or
located. Wait, her client. Wait. The other profile they don't have access to says it's located inside of her client's business, and it's
when
not.
it's not.
So, what you need to do is not just have one person do it, have 5 or 6 people do it. And then if that doesn't go through in a day or two, go to support and say, hey, look, support, we've suggested this edit, it's not taking, here's proof this business is not inside of this business. Please take that out, and they'll fix it.
Yep, pretty much.
All right,
Okay.
final last question of the day.
Maybe we can go through the rest. We got 3 minutes. We're good.
Maybe. So this is from Al. Al says, there's a local SEO strategy where a company has a GBP for their actual office location, but then opens numerous service area GBPs in locations around the urban area, and they've obtained Google reviews for these listings. I've seen it done for a roofing company and a bin rental company, which absolutely dominates local search results. Google will not remove these extraneous GBP locations. What does one do about this unfair tactic if Google won't act on the evidence?
Google sucks on the evidence. So basically what you need to do is you submit the first one. When you submit the first one, make sure you document the case ID. Next, if they haven't removed it within 2 weeks, that means that your information that you've provided them is actually weak. So that means you need to continue on down your line and gather more information. Gathering just pictures and stuff like that is not going to do it for you. Sometimes you actually need to go do a video, especially with bin companies, because bin companies use yards. They may, by the way, if it's the bin company I'm thinking that you're probably thinking of, they may have actually a bin, quote unquote, there that they use as an office. So you need to make sure that that is not true. Anyway, basically, you just need to submit another redressal form after 2 weeks, and you can go ahead and use the same case ID as a related case ID. And in the notes, say, I've submitted this before. If the evidence here is the case ID, I'm submitting it again. Okay, that means it might go into a human moderator review, and they actually might go ahead and take a little bit more action on it than the first time. Google is not consistent when it comes to removing maps spam. So basically, sometimes the first pass is going to be more algorithmic than it is going to be human intervention.
Boom. And with
That's the
that,
basics of it.
I think we are at the end of...
No, dude. Come on. We got 3 questions. Let's burn through them real quick. Okay. Really quick. Bing doesn't have Bing for Business on Androids. I go in every month and then... Okay. So we're still saying that Bing sucks. Got it. Basically. Okay. LMN, Google search. No, I was saying large language models, actually, which means AI. See, look at that, dude. Done. All done.
That
I
is
think we
it.
got them all.
So we do have some leftover questions from a month ago, but definitely pop in questions to us through the systems you all know about so that we have questions to hit next time. And make sure if you submit a question, you show up so you can get your question answered. Because, like,
Yeah.
obviously, you can listen to the replay later, but it's way more fun when we can heckle you in person. So submit your questions. Come back next time. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And is that right when we come back from Austin? It is.
Oh, is it?
I think
Yeah,
it is.
I
We
think
may
it
have
is.
fun stuff to allude to. We
Well, we
can
won't be able to
talk about.
allude to much, but
We could be like, "Oh my God, we heard some cool stuff, but we can't tell you what it is."
yeah, we're on for the 17th, man.
Yep. Yeah, that's right after we come back from hanging out
Yes.
in Austin.
We're gonna go hang out in Austin. We're gonna do dueling piano bars.
Are we
Um,
really?
yes, we are.
Well, barf.
Come on, Greg. It's Austin, dude.
There's
Austin.
way cooler places to go than the dueling piano bar.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll have all night long, so you know.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right. All right, everybody. So with that, we have another episode on the books. Geez, what episode are we at right now? God, we're in season 3, I think, right?
Yeah. Maybe I don't. I'm now lost track, man.
It's like season 3, episode 5. I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, everybody have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for showing up. Sorry we haven't been here for 3 weeks, but we're going to make that up. We're going to see you here in 2 weeks, and we'll be coming back. Like Greg said, we'll be coming back right off of the Product Expert Summit, which is at the Google headquarters in Austin. So if you do have any burning questions that you would like us to ask Google directly, and like just do Google directly, then ask them, and we'll take a look at the assignment form before we go, and we'll see
Yep.
if we can ask those questions. All right, everybody, peace. Have a great
Have a great
weekend.
weekend.